when your business do well, you have more work, you have more responsibilities, you have worries. Will I be able to keep this up? Do I deserve this? What did I do to, and where do I go from now? Because I did it all on my own. Now I had to hire people. Like, will I be able to afford those people? What do I do? And I'm taking my sister out of her job. I'm like, what if this doesn't work?
Oh my
And I
gosh.
can't pay her anymore.
Yeah.
Or I was editing all night long. I was exhausted. And I didn't know how to find an editor. It's like, I had to figure out, because one thing I knew was to make videos. So that was easy. I knew how to produce, I was like, this is fine. But as other needs showed on my life, I was like, I don't know how to do this. So then I started to become stressed. And now that's where I am right now. I have to do a lot of new things, because if you only do the same things over and over again, for years you stay behind. And now I'm at a point I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. The things that I knew how to do, it's not enough anymore.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Mom Does It All. If you're looking for encouragement, empowerment, and uplifting in motherhood and mompreneurship, this is a show for you. I'm your host, Marta Spurk, triplet mom, certified success coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. On this episode, I continue my conversation with Flavia Calina, mommy vlogger, as she gets to the nitty-gritty of how she started making money on YouTube and turned her hobby into a business. She shares the challenges of switching from beauty to motherhood and early childhood education once she became a mom and lost some followers. She also talks about the fears that are still present as her channel grows and evolves, and encourages every mompreneur to trust the process and always remain grateful. Let's get right to it.
So after a while, I was putting a lot of videos and I was making more money, which is like, what? From the ads on YouTube. And that's a lot of people don't understand unless you're in the field. The advertising you watch before the video starts, you make few cents per video.
Okay.
And as you start adding the views, you just add up, and you make more money. So the more videos you make, the more views you make, the more money you make. And I was doing that, and I was almost close to the same salary as I had at the daycare.
Wow.
Yeah, I was making a little less, but working from home, and I thought,
that's incredible.
Oh my gosh, what if I put the 40 hours I put in the childcare?
Yeah.
But like everything that is new, it's so scary.
It is.
It took me forever to make a decision. And I would ask Ricardo, like, I told you to quit that job a long time. He was always like, come work at the bank. You would make double.
Husbands.
Yeah.
Like, the same everywhere.
Right? He would make double. I'm like, I cannot sit at a desk all day long. I'm like, I can't do what you, because he's like, go on help desk and answer calls. I'm like, I would do that for 6 months because it's new. Everything that is new for me is exciting. But I know I cannot do that. He's like, well, then you find something. I'm like, no, but because I really, really enjoyed being with the kids. But I would get home exhausted, and we were still, like making nothing. And just, all problems we have in our work. And I told him, what do you think? Should I try? He's like, I told you a long time ago, but I was always so scared. So I had, his support. And I said, okay. I finally told the daycare, I said, I'm going to leave again. Sorry. And no, I can't believe this. I said, I know, but I have to try. And that was like a decision of a lifetime, because it took me 1 year to make the same money, because I thought it was going to be quick. I'm like, well, if I'm making this money now, and then I put the 40 hours in, but maybe other people would make more faster, but I had no clue what I was doing. I only had the money from YouTube.
Okay.
I didn't know how to work with sponsors, other revenues of income.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time to learn, and I'm not very good at asking questions. For example, I watched at that time there were other Brazilians doing it the same thing, but I was always too shy to ask. I thought if I asked other people how they were working, they would feel, oh, are you trying to get information from me? Are you
Right.
getting my
Copy what I'm
attention?
doing.
Yeah, so I was always like, oh, I'll stay in my place. If they talk to me, maybe I'll ask. So, and I don't think that's the right way to go, because the more now I learn about entrepreneurs, you have to talk to people in the
Yes.
same field as you. But, I learned the hard way. It took me a whole year to make the same money I was making at the daycare. But after that, it started quickly getting more, the other year. So I would say for me to be like, oh, this is amazing. It was after 3 years.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, 3 years. But then I was obsessed. Something clicked. I'm like, I'm gonna make a video every day, because that was my job. I had no kids. I was home, and I said I have to make use of my time and really prove that was a good decision to leave the childcare. And I started sharing about my life, and I was about to turn 30. So I did 30 things before 30 years.
Nice.
It was a series in my channel. So I started sharing more personal stuff. And then finally, my mom helped me with the money for in vitro. And we finally decided to do in vitro fertilization, and we went to Brazil to do that. And I got pregnant with Victoria.
Yay.
And then I said, now I can talk about early childhood. And that's how it all started.
Oh my gosh.
Most people now don't know that I started with makeup, but people that followed me years ago, and it was a hard transition because I had an audience that wanted beauty stuff, right? And here I come pregnant, and it's so crazy to watch everything, because Victoria is 5 years old, so I was pregnant 6 years ago. So imagine 6 years ago in the digital world was a different world.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So different. And so nobody was sharing their pregnancies. Nobody was sharing, anything like that. Today you see, and maybe that's the type of content that I watch, but I feel that everybody's just pregnant. Everybody's just sharing everything. But at the time it was also unique to share what I was going through, but I realized, I said, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how we can be better with babies, how babies are capable of doing things. And I thought I can show it with my own child. Because when I thought, oh, I want to talk about early childhood, I thought about asking my friends if I could, quote unquote, use their kids on my videos. But it's challenging, it's hard.
It's not the same.
And it's so the exposure, I'm aware of the exposure, it's very tricky, and I didn't know how to navigate that. And I was like, no, and I never asked anybody to quote unquote use their kids, to do activities and to show and talk about it. But we have to remember they are people, right?
Yes.
And that's what I've been talking all along, like the respect. And that's a struggle I have sometimes, exposing my kids, because I talk about respect. Am I being respectful of their image? And so that's something I'm aware. And, I think about it constantly, every day, in every video that I post. Am I being respectful? Would they like to watch this later? And they don't know, right? They don't know anything. Victoria was born on YouTube.
Right. Oh my gosh. That's crazy to think about.
Right? 5 years of her life. She literally, her birth is on YouTube. And some kids in Brazil see her, and we live here, so we're more shielded from the public. So I love. Oh my gosh, I never let you talk, right? But
no, it's okay. Oh my gosh, this has been
great.
Did
you know all of this? Or
no, I didn't know many of the details. And that's what I love so much about hearing the story behind everything, because that's what I always talk about, how you see someone successful and you think, yeah, but she was blessed. It came easy for her and it's just the way it is. You don't know what they went through.
Gosh.
And I love that you went back and forth, and you did this and you tried that. And even when you said, now I understand, I couldn't just stay not doing anything, because when you try things is when you realize what you like and what you don't like, what you're meant to do and what you're not meant to do. Yes. And I'm sure you're still figuring that out, even though you have kids now and you have a successful business and all of that. And I just love the details of you figuring yourself out and now figuring out life with a family and everything. So I really appreciate all the details, because that's what people look forward to hearing, really, is seeing you're successful, you're beautiful, you have everything that looks like you have everything, but you struggle too. So you're normal.
Yes. No. And if you think, every time I think about how much I was making, but I still went. I said, no, I have to work, what am I going to do? Stay home, and in those years, making very little to nothing, gave me so much knowledge, all the things that I know that I can talk about today, I practice with children in my care, and it was just great. But thinking about Victoria, now Enrique, he's 2. I have Victoria, she's 5, Enrique 2, and I'm 21 weeks pregnant with my second boy, and there has no name yet.
Okay, I was going to ask.
No name. That's the hardest part for me. Oh my gosh. But I put I was watching a family vlogger here in the US, and I saw their birth, right? And I cried. I felt I was in the room with them. It was just so beautiful. And I never saw anything bad about it. And I was like, and because I was sharing the pregnancy, and people were like, they didn't know I was going to post the birth, because that wasn't common. But when I posted, people I don't know, it has like 40 million views. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. But it was so powerful, and it's tasteful, I believe. Like, I don't show anything that is not,
compromising.
I mean, birth is so beautiful on its own, but I know there are a lot of children watching. So, I try to be like, I always think, would I let my children watch my videos? And then if I say yes, I post. So that was good.
Yeah.
But now, so I put her birth and all the activities that I did with her as a baby, and just talking about behavior and how, we have to understand the developmental stages of the child, because sometimes when they throw themselves on the floor, when they cry and they scream, it's part of their learning process. They're not bad kids. They're not trying to get us. They're not, our enemies. They're like, oh, that was a curse from my mother.
Yes. Oh gosh.
Like, just wait until your mom, and it's all funny. And I'm very I like the mommy jokes and all that, but on a day-to-day life, we have to remember that they are people, and and especially now, they are going to it's easier to look back with pictures and videos. I think Victoria has a memory that I'm like, I was either like I don't want to say dumb, but so naive child. When I look at her, I was like, damn, girl, like, wow, like, I can't. How old are you again? I didn't pay attention to anything. She knows when we're driving around. She knows where we are. Like, I only knew when we got to the point. Like, I never knew how far we were. But anyways, so yeah, that's when I started talking about early childhood. So the switch, a lot of people, it's hard to do the switch from one content on one type of business to go a totally different route. So people were there wanting to hear about me losing weight and my blonde hair and my fake lashes and all that. And all of a sudden, I'm like, so here, when your baby cries, just pay attention to their cry. They're like, oh, that's boring. So I lost a lot of viewers at that time. But I was so confident that I said, I cannot talk about beauty the rest of my life. I still wear makeup. I love doing my highlights, but I like deeper talk. I love talking about life and why we do the things we do. I don't think we can make a perfect childhood. I thought I did when she was born. I was like, I know a lot of things. I read all these books. I was a teacher for all of these years. I'm going to be great. And that's when I told you, like, I understand now when parents say, you don't understand, you have to go through, because you are emotionally involved. You are tired. You're worried. There are a lot of other things involved besides the behavior and what addressing. Like when you're a teacher, you're not attached to a lot of things. You're just in the moment there. And here, as much as I try to be in the moment with my kids, I know I have a call in 30 minutes. I know, the taxes are already passed.
Right.
You haven't done it,
Oh my gosh.
So that's on your mind.
Concerns, and that's what's so hard, because it's real life, right? It's not just a job.
Yes. So I get it is a job. So I get it. And I was a little naive when I had her. I think I was, in that magical moment because I waited 7 years. It was my miracle.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, you're so annoying, because I was so happy. I was just so, and whatever you see on my channels, that was it. Like I wasn't hiding anything. Whatever I was feeling, I would share. And I was that, bubbly and happy, and like everything's fine. Oh, she pooped a horse. She cried. She threw herself on the floor. Oh my gosh, that's the adorable thing. I don't know. I was in a spell or something. So I was a little naive at that time, but I was enjoying the moment. Yeah. And I said, and I gave a different perspective too. And I'm glad. I hear a lot of people that watch my videos saying I enjoy motherhood better, like I don't take things so seriously. So that was good too. But everything I put out was genuine. But as the time went on, I had Enrique, and then my business was going better. But I'm sure everybody knows when that happens, like when your business do well, you have more work, you have more responsibilities, you have worries. Will I be able to keep this up? Right. Do I deserve this? What did I do to, and where do I go from now? Because I did it all on my own. Now I had to hire people. Like, will I be able to afford those people? What do I do? And, I'm taking my sister out of her job. I'm like, what if this doesn't work?
Oh my
God! I can't pay her anymore.
Yeah.
Or I was editing all night long. I was exhausted. And I didn't know how to find an editor. It's like, I had to figure out, because one thing I knew was to make videos. So that was easy. I knew how to produce, I was like, this is fine. But as other needs showed on my life, I was like, I don't know how to do this. Right. So then I started to become stressed. And now that's where I am right now. I have to do a lot of new things, because if you only do the same things over and over again, for years, you stay behind. Yeah. And now I'm at a point, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. The things that I knew how to do, it's not enough anymore. And now I'm like, it feels almost like I have to start over again. Just crazy.
That's interesting. I just love so much to hear all of that, because again, from a perspective of somebody that is so far along from most of us that want to start with a business, and you have the kids at home and all of that, it's just knowing that it's a journey, that there are ups and downs, and that sometimes you feel overwhelmed, sometimes you feel, and then you have the response from people saying, watching your videos, I'm enjoying motherhood. I mean, how amazing is that? I'm enjoying motherhood more just by watching. And everything that you say about respect for the kids and making sure you're being respectful of them as people and as you expose them online as well. I mean, it's just so many amazing values there that I love so much. And your whole story is like great advice already, but I usually like to close the episodes with just like, what's your one piece of advice? And I don't even know what to pick for women that are struggling maybe to have babies, or for women that are starting out their online business and they are a little bit frustrated. I don't know, whatever comes to mind or to your heart that you want to share with this mama that listened to your whole story and they're like, oh my gosh, Flav is amazing.
Oh, couple of things that I learned, which was really hard to learn throughout all the hard times that I had. It's so cliche, but I think every cliche it's a cliche because it works, right?
Yes.
Two things. Really have to trust the process, which is the hardest part, because you're struggling, you have doubts, you don't know where that's going to take you, but you have to trust that that's a learning thing and it's going to take you somewhere. And gratitude. I think the gratitude is the most cliche, and it's easy to make it simple, but it's not simple.
Yeah.
And I felt that when it shifted my life was the 30 things before 30th birthday. That was I think was the darkest time from my life, because you're turning 30. What am I going to do about my life? I don't have kids. I don't have a good job. But like that was. And I made a gratitude journal at that time, and I wrote little things like my child today at the child care, he was afraid of getting dirty with paint, and he decided to touch the paint with his fingertip. And I wrote that down because that was huge, And I remember that was almost 7 years ago. I remember the things I wrote at that time.
Wow.
And I'm saying it's easy and hard at the same time, because now that I'm struggling a little, like I said, I have to reinvent myself and hire more people. Because I've always done everything by myself. It's easy for me that way. Now that I have to deal with other people, I'm struggling a lot, and I'm having a really hard time now, like at this moment. And I'm like, well, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I keep thinking I have to be grateful. Look where I am, because it's easy to forget all this and say, like, I just, she's just listening to you talking, like, oh, she's a successful. I'm like, I am, So it's like you have to take in what you have.
Yes.
Even if you're working at Target, I have this job. I'm learning. I know I'm gonna get somewhere, or no matter at what point in life you are. You have things to be grateful.
Yes.
And again, it's cliche and simple, but it's hard to put into practice and really appreciate what you have. So I'm redoing this exercise, and not only in our head, but we have to write it down.
Yes,
because it makes a difference. But there's a lot of learning still to do.
Yes.
And I'll tell you now, one thing that I loved was being able to work from home and take care of my kids. But now I think I need to hire somebody to stay here with me. And I'm having a hard time with that. I'm like, I don't want somebody else to help me take care of my kids.
Right.
But I can't put all the hours that I need, to keep going and to fulfill and to be good for the audience if I take care of them full time. Something has to give. But I can still be a mom and give them time. But, so that's where I am right now.
Oh, I love it so much. Oh, thank you so much for sharing your story. This was great. And how can we find you? I know you have a book as well, but it's only Portuguese. Tell me about all of the resources, how to find you.
The book was at that magical point. So it's very positive. I mean, I always talk about the struggles, because it's not always good, but it's funny to read now. I'm like, wow, it would be nice to get a second one. But the title is Now That I'm a Mom, but it's only in Portuguese. So Agora Que Sou Mãe. And all my social media is my name, Flavia Calina with C. Calina. So YouTube, Instagram. I can't believe I got my Instagram just Flavia Calina, which
beautiful.
So it was but on Facebook and Instagram, I'm posting English and Portuguese. So that's good.
Yeah, that helps.
Yes.
For the Americans or for people that don't speak Portuguese. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I loved talking to you, hearing your story. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you one day. Maybe we'll visit Colorado, see if
Yes, you
move
have
there.
to come. Totally. Come see the mountains. Come
We
meet my
wanna-
kids.
we wanna
All three kids can play.
We want to
together.
buy an RV, or a trailer or something.
Oh, nice.
We want to travel a little.
Yes, road trip.
Make
That's
us
the best
stop.
way with 3 kids, right?
Yes.
You don't have to pay for plane tickets. Just
Yes.
sleep in the car.
Yes. Thank you
right.
again for this opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, what a privilege this was. My heart is seriously so full to be able to talk to someone with so much experience and learn from her. What's interesting is that everyone that comes on the show that is farther along than me says the same. Just don't give up. Trust the process. So I hope you got something out of this episode too and Flavia's whole story. Stay strong, mama. Whether you're struggling with motherhood or entrepreneurship or both, just know that at the end of the day, nobody knows what they're doing. They just keep on keeping on. Share this episode on social media and tag us. Connect with Flavia and me. Let us know your thoughts. All the info is in the show notes. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Until next time, bye.